The screen door creaks as it opens. Grandma stands there, her silver hair glowing in the low sun. Her eyes are sharp, too clear to mistake for welcome. "So you finally decided to show up." The words cut deeper than I expect. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. "I tried to visit," I finally whisper. "They said you were in a restricted care home." Her eyebrows knit together, disbelief hardening into pain. "Restricted care," she repeats, voice like cracking ice. "We've been right here, every single day." The air thickens between us, heavy with what's unsaid. I step out of the car, my legs weak beneath me. The gravel crunches like accusation. "Mom and Dad told me," I start, but she raises a hand. "They told you a lot of things, didn't they?" Her tone makes my stomach twist. Behind her, the house glows faintly in the sunset. The same porch, where Grandpa used to sit with his coffee. The same steps I used to run up after school. Everything looks familiar, yet feels wrong. Grandma's eyes soften for a moment, then close. "Come inside," she says quietly. Her voice trembles but doesn't break. I follow her through the doorway, the smell of pine cleaner clinging to every surface. Photos line the hallway, birthdays, graduations, family smiles frozen in time. There's a frame missing, where Grandpa's chair used to be. Each step echoes with ghosts I thought I left behind. When we reach the end of the hall, Grandma stops. Her hand rests on the door to Grandpa's study. "You should see this first," she murmurs. I hesitate. The room beyond smells like dust and old paper. A faint trace of his cologne lingers in the air. His desk sits untouched, covered in notebooks and tools. A mug still half full of coffee rests on the corner. My throat tightens. "Where is he?" I ask. The question escapes before I can stop it. Grandma doesn't answer right away. Her hand trembles as she pulls a small notebook from her apron. She presses it into my palm. "He wanted you to have this," she says. I look down, recognizing his handwriting immediately. Precise. Careful. Every letter drawn like it mattered. "Grandma," my voice cracks. "Where is he?" She meets my eyes. Tears shine there, caught in the fading light. "Your grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago." The words hit like impact. The room tilts around me. My fingers dig into the notebook's worn cover. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and no one told me. I stumble backward, shaking my head. No, that can't be true. They would have said something. But they wouldn't. They never do. The truth burns through me like wildfire. Grandma's hand finds my shoulder. "He kept calling you," she whispers. "Every morning, until the day he couldn't anymore." I press the notebook to my chest, feeling its weight. The grief is sharp, but underneath it, anger stirs awake. Someone took those last moments from me. Someone decided I didn't deserve goodbye. And for the first time in a year, I know exactly what I have to do. The notebook feels heavy in my hands. Its leather cover is cracked, edges soft from years of use. I open it carefully, afraid it might fall apart. The first page is dated January 5th. Underneath his neat handwriting, "Called Camille, no answer." My breath catches. Every line after looks the same. Dates times phone numbers. January 6, tried again, still no answer. January 7, number disconnected. He kept calling me, every morning. 10 months of reaching into silence. Grandma stands beside me, her hands folded tight. "He never gave up," she whispers. 8 o'clock sharp, every day. Said that's when you checked your messages. I flip through the pages, faster now. February, March, April. Each line feels like a wound reopening. May 2, left voicemail. Hope she's doing well. June 10, Martha says maybe she's traveling, still trying. My vision blurs as tears hit the paper. He thought I was too busy, not gone. He thought I chose not to call. "Who gave him that number?" I asked quietly. Grandma's lips pressed together. Your parents said it was yours. He trusted them. The word trusted shatters something inside me. I slam the book shut, unable to read another line. But Grandma isn't done. She reaches into her apron again, pulling out a second notebook. This one's different, she says. He started it in August. The pages here are denser, the handwriting harder, angrier. August 15, Greg and Brooke visited, asked about selling equipment. August 20, Linda says Camille wants to liquidate before moving abroad. My stomach twists. I never said that, I whisper. I know, Grandma says softly. He knew too. She flips to the last page he ever wrote. The ink trails off halfway through a sentence. September 30, if she doesn't come home soon, they'll. The rest is a jagged line of ink. I can almost see his hand trembling, trying to finish it. The air feels thin, like the walls are closing in. Grandma takes my hand, squeezing gently. He figured it out near the end, that they were lying, that you weren't the one who stayed away. I nod, unable to speak. The lies replay in my head like broken tape. Mom's voice saying, you know how forgetful they've become. Dad's sigh, you'll just upset them if you visit. All those words now sound like chains, forged to keep me away. The truth hurts worse than the grief. I wasn't absent by choice. I was erased. Grandma moves to the window, her reflection pale in the fading light. He wanted to protect you, she says. That's why he changed everything before he died. What do you mean? I ask. Before she can answer, the sound of tires crunches outside. A car door slams shut. She looks out, her eyes narrowing. That'll be Mr. Fan, she says. He's the lawyer. Your grandfather told him to come when you finally returned. The notebook slips from my fingers, landing open on the desk. The ink glistens faintly, the last message clear in the light. For my scientist, find the truth. My throat tightens. I whisper into the stillness. I will. Mr. Fan steps through the doorway, removing his hat with quiet respect. He looks older than I remember, but his eyes are steady. Your grandfather asked me to come, he says softly. He wanted you to hear the truth from me, not from them. Grandma gestures for him to sit, but he stays standing. The late sun filters through the blinds, stripping the desk in gold. He knew something was wrong months before he died. His voice is calm, but there's a weight beneath it. They told him you changed your number. He didn't believe it. My chest tightens. Of course he didn't. He always said I double-checked everything. He started making notes, Mr. Fan continues. Not just about the phone calls, about visits, conversations. He opens his briefcase and pulls out a sealed envelope. Your grandfather's will. The words hang in the air like thunder before rain. Grandma folds her hands in her lap, unmoving. I take the envelope, my fingers trembling. Inside, there's a handwritten letter on thick cream paper. My dearest Lynn. It begins. The pen strokes are familiar, careful even at the end. If you're reading this, I'm gone, but I want you to know what really happened. I blink hard, fighting the sting in my eyes. They came often after you left, asking questions about the land, about money. They said you told them to sell the tractors, to sell the center. But I know my little scientist better than that. Each word feels like a heartbeat. They wanted me to sign everything over. I refused. So I changed it. The farm, the patents, the innovation center, they're yours. Not because of blood, because of truth. Tears slip down my cheeks, silent and hot. Mr. Fan clears his throat. He wanted me to make it legal right away. It's done, Lynn. You're the owner now. The room sways. I don't want it, I whisper. I just wanted him. Grandma places a trembling hand over mine. He wanted you to have both, she says. His work and his faith. The crunch of tires on gravel interrupts us. Through the window, I see a silver car pulling up. 3 doors open. My parents, my sister, They walk toward the porch, their silhouettes dark against the fading light. They found out, Grandma murmurs. Mr. Fan gathers the papers, his jaw tightening. They'll come angry, let them talk first. I wipe my face, pushing the grief aside. The notebook still lies open on the desk beside me. The last line glows faintly in the sunset. For when my scientist comes home. I run my finger over the words, steadying my breath. Outside, footsteps climb the porch stairs. My sister's voice cuts through the air, sharp and familiar. What is she doing here? I close the notebook gently and stand tall. This time, I won't let them twist the story. Not anymore. My sister's heels strike the porch like gunfire. Behind her, my parents appear, faces polished and false. Mother's smile is wide, too bright to be real. Darling, we've been so worried, she coos. Her perfume hits before her arms do. She leans in, but I step back. You never answered our calls, she adds sweetly. Dad stands behind her, cold and silent. His eyes sweep the room like a threat. This is a family matter, he says flatly. Maybe you should wait outside. Mr. Fan's calm voice cuts through the tension. Harold's instructions were clear. Everyone must be present. The words stop Dad mid-step. Grandma Martha, steady and unflinching, takes her seat. The will lies unopened on the coffee table. Mother crosses her legs, pearls flashing under the light. We all know what Father wanted, she insists. Of course, Grandma replies. Let's hear it anyway. Mr. Fan opens the envelope, adjusting his glasses. The sound of paper fills the silence. Harold Nguyen's last will and testament, he begins. Executed 2 weeks before his passing. He reads steadily, voice strong and certain. The house and lifetime support go to his wife, Han. Mother nods, pretending agreement. No one breathes. And to my granddaughter, Lynn, Mr. Fan continues. I leave the Nguyen Agricultural Innovation Center and all research assets. The room explodes. My sister jumps up, eyes wide with disbelief. You promised me everything, she cries. Father grips her arm, whispering sharp words. Mother's face turns red, then pale. This can't be right, she hisses. Mr. Fan ignores them, reading on. The remaining estate will be divided equally between Lin and Trang. Dad slams his fist against the armrest. Harold wasn't in his right mind, he roars. Mr. Fan looks up, unshaken. We have medical documentation confirming full cognitive capacity. Grandma rises slowly, holding a small black recorder. Harold left something else, she says. The air shifts. Mother's voice trembles. What is that? Grandma presses play. Static crackles. Then his voice fills the room, clear, strong, undeniable. I'm recording this because something isn't right. Papers rustle in the background. Greg and I visited again, 3rd time this month. They ask about the land, not about my health. Mother gasps, lunging for the recorder. Turn that off, she yells. Mr. Fan steps between them. Legally admissible, Nebraska law allows one-party consent. The recording continues. Their voices, their manipulation. Every lie preserved in Harold's steady tone. My hands tremble, but not from fear. I look at them, all three, seeing them clearly for the first time. You kept me away, I say quietly. You lied to him, to me. Father's jaw tightens, but his eyes waver. Mother whispers something about misunderstanding. I shake my head. No more lies. The recording ends. Silence floods the room. Outside, the wind rises, rattling the windows. Grandma stands tall. Get out, she says. No one moves at first. Then, one by one, they turn toward the door. Their footsteps fade down the porch steps. For the first time in a year, the house feels light again. I close my eyes and breathe. The truth has finally spoken. The night settles over the house like a blanket. Grandma sits beside me, her hands folded in her lap. "You did well, child," she says softly. "Your grandfather would be proud." The words sink into me, warm but heavy. I stare at the notebook on the table. The ink looks darker in the lamplight. "He never stopped believing in you," Grandma adds, "even when they tried to make him doubt." My throat tightens, and I can only nod. Mr. Fan gathers his documents into his briefcase. "Harold prepared everything," he says. "He knew they might challenge the will. He documented every visit, every phone call. They won't get far in court." When he leaves, the house grows quiet again. Only the ticking clock and the sound of crickets remain. I pick up the second notebook, the one from his study. Each page is filled with diagrams and calculations. Handwritten formulas, sketches of soil sensors, irrigation models. He'd been working on something big. The same project we once dreamed of together. A system that could save water for struggling farms. He hadn't just recorded memories, he'd kept creating. Even as his hands grew weak, his mind kept building. I trace one line of notes with my finger. Beside a drawing of a sensor, he'd written, "She'll finish this one day." Tears sting my eyes again, but I smile through them. He never gave up on me, even when everyone else did. In the corner of the room, an old microscope gleams faintly. The one he gave me when I was 12. A note hangs from it, tied with twine. "For when my scientist comes home." I untie it carefully, reading the familiar handwriting. It's a promise and a challenge all at once. Grandma walks to the window, pulling back the curtain. Outside, the stars scatter across the dark sky. "He always said the world would need people like you," she murmurs. "People who see the truth under the surface." I set the notebook down, my heart pounding. For the first time since I arrived, I feel purpose, not pain. The inheritance isn't just property, it's proof of trust. He believed I could continue his work. That belief is more powerful than any amount of money. I open my laptop, scanning his notes again. Blueprints for water filtration. Prototypes for energy-efficient pumps. Everything waiting for someone to bring it to life. A soft wind slips through the cracked window. The scent of alfalfa drifts in, familiar and grounding. Grandma turns toward me, her expression proud and gentle. "What will you do now?" she asks. I look at the desk, at his handwriting, at the future staring back. "I'll build it," I say. "The system he dreamed of, the one we started together." She nods, a tear sliding down her cheek. That's what he wanted to hear. Outside, the meadowlark sings again, clear and distant. The same song from the day I came home. Only now it sounds different, like hope, not regret. I whisper into the night, voice steady and sure. "I'll make him proud, I promise." 2 months later, the first letter arrives. A white envelope stamped with legal seals and false concern. "Notice of contest," it reads across the top. My parents and sister are suing to overturn the will. They claim manipulation, mental incapacity, undue influence. I read it twice, then fold it neatly back into its envelope. The anger doesn't surprise me anymore. It almost feels predictable. Mr. Fan calls that afternoon, his voice calm as ever. "They're demanding 80% of the inheritance," he says. "They think you'll settle to avoid scandal." "Then they don't know me," I reply. We set a meeting for Friday, their lawyer's office. I spend the next 2 days in preparation. Copies of recordings, bank receipts, medical evaluations proving Grandpa's mind was clear. When the day comes, I dress in quiet defiance. Charcoal suit, white blouse, pearl earrings Grandma gave me. In the mirror, I see strength where fear used to live. The conference room smells like money and arrogance. They're already there when I walk in. Mother sits at the center, hands folded over designer folders. Father's tie is perfect, his smile razor sharp. Trang avoids my eyes, pretending to study her notes. Their lawyer greets me with a smirk. "Miss Lin, perhaps we can resolve this amicably." Mr. Fan sits beside me, calm as a mountain. Father leans forward, his voice dripping authority. "You're forcing us into this. You've made a mess of things." Mother sighs dramatically. "We're your family, darling. You should trust us to handle what's best." The words make me laugh. It's a small sound, but sharp enough to cut through their performance. "I did trust you," I say quietly. "And you used that trust to keep me away from him." The lawyer clears his throat. "Emotions aside, the assets can be divided reasonably." I reach into my briefcase and place 3 folders on the table. "Before you continue, read these." They open them one by one. Inside are transcripts of the recordings. Every conversation. Every lie. Father's hand freezes halfway through the first page. Mother's face drains of color. Trang's eyes fill with tears she doesn't try to hide. "These are copies," I say. "The originals are secured with the notary and my lawyer. If you continue this case, they become public record." The room goes silent, except for the hum of the air conditioner. Mother whispers, "You planned this." "No," I say. "Grandpa did. He knew you'd try again." Father's jaw clenches, fury and shame warring on his face. "You're trying to destroy your family." I meet his gaze, steady and unbroken. "No, I'm protecting his legacy, the truth." Their lawyer gathers his papers, shoulders heavy with defeat. He mutters something about signatures and settlements. They sign the withdrawal forms with shaking hands. No one speaks as I collect the documents. When it's over, I stand. "This was never about money," I say. "I just won't let you rewrite his story." As I leave, the city lights blur outside the window. For the first time in years, the weight lifts from my chest. Justice doesn't feel loud. It feels quiet, steady, and final. 4 years pass before I realize the promise is complete. The Innovation Center stands tall among golden fields. Each sensor hums softly, feeding water with perfect precision. Grandma visits every morning with her basket of tomatoes. She still calls them his heritage variety. I walk the rows, boots coated with dust and sunlight. Every leaf, every line of code carries his handwriting. The students call me Dr. Lin now. They don't know the pain that built these walls. They only see the work, the purpose, the future. A little girl visits one afternoon, holding a science project. Her eyes shine with the same wonder I once had. She asks if I can look at her experiment. I give her a small microscope, just like the one he gave me. "Keep asking questions," I tell her. "The world needs people who do." When the sun sets, Grandma and I sit by the fields. The wind smells of earth and new beginnings. A meadowlark sings somewhere in the distance. I close my eyes and smile. He was right all along. Truth grows stronger than lies. And love, real love, never dies.